Hey, Riko here from 40K Amateur Hour. Gonna have part two of the terrain, Krazy Terrain making of industrial machine parts, mechanical type things for scenery. So, hope you enjoy. It goes along with part one. We'll show some more of the pieces and do some more things. So, hope you enjoy it. Watch it, like it. Thanks. Alright, welcome to part two of Krazy Terrain, building of industrial mechanical type things. We're gonna do another set here, a little bit of a more three-dimensional, something they got to weave through, walk through, give some cover type thing, and just basically going to show you building it completely out of bits and pieces, things that you can find basically around your house. And then we'll show you some other examples and paint it up and get it all ready. So the first thing I got is a base. I use simply foam core for a lot of things because it's light, it's cheap, it's easy, and it does take most of my things that I'm building pretty well. This right here we're going to start off with. This is the case from a color printer, an inkjet printer, the ink that comes from it. So we're going to start off just gluing some parts down. And kind of just looking around seeing what we've got. This is something a lot of people have floating around, especially if you're a gamer. This is basically a dice container. I use quite a few of these for different pieces. Got a lot of dice floating around the house. So basically what I'm showing you is this can be done with pretty much anything, any type of stuff that you can find around your house. Let's give it a little zip. Okay, and last time I talked a little bit about film canisters. I like film canisters. If you can still get your hands on them, find them at your local store. They're always good to have around. Okay, so here's our basis of what we're going to be building right here. Now the best thing to do is you got to add some detail to it. One of the things I like to call them bumps, for lack of anything else. You look at spaceships or things that in movies, like the Millennium Falcon. It was cooler than a lot of the Naboo ships because of all the ridges and bumps and the details that it had inside of it. So I like to add things so they don't look so flat. So I just went and found some bits. Here's some bits of a Necron. Gonna just add that. Give it a little bit of detail, some mechanical type function here. I've got another one. Add over here. Basically it's building terrain out of whatever you can find, simple things that you can come around. Here's a grenade launcher left over from a vehicle. Sometimes it's always good to give it a zap. Here's a door piece type of hinge. Just going to add that on. Give it like an access panel of some sort or something there. And say, what about the price tag on there? Well, that just actually, like I said, gives it some more detail. Gives it a indentation or whatever you may want to call it. Here's a control panel. Give that here so it looks like you can actually do something on here. Get something, turn it on, run some functions. Alright, we have a G.I. Joe grenade. Set that right in here. Next to our canister. Some other just bits that we have floating around from the bits box. So it makes it look like everything here has a purpose to be here. We have a piece off of a razor. You just use that right here. Tip of a super glue. Some kind of nozzle that we can have protruding here. Like I said, this is pretty quick, pretty fast. We can do a lot of this stuff. This is a piece of hardware from a shelving unit. Piece of a pen. Oops. Not even sure what this is. It's something I found floating around. This is a Lego jump pack, rocket pack. Put that on here. Oh, we want to get some pipage going through here, so we can measure some of that out with our straws. Kind of like we did on the other one. Measure that again. And perfect, okay. So we can get some pipes going back and forth here. Alright. I got some other bits and pieces that I got coming around. Let's see what we can figure out. Alright, let's see. Okay, a couple more. Alright, so that's our piece so far. Doesn't look like much, but we'll get it painted up and show you then what happens next. Alright, so added a few more things right before getting painting. I just found this little square piece off of a toy for our kids. Added a straw here. Cut up piece of an MP5 from a G.I. Joe again. And so anyway, got some extra pieces, a few more things. Now I think it's time to paint. So I'm going to do the black coat with a dust of silver, similar to the other one, and then add some details into it. So one moment, we'll get it painted and show you. Alright, so we're back. Now if you don't understand what I mean by lightly dusted, I'm going to cover it with the black coat, then hold the spray paint for the silver pretty far back and just do a dusting of it. So it's not going to be completely silver, it's just going to have some of that silver touch to it. So here is the base. Now we're going to do basically the same type of thing that we did the other one in part one. Is do a little detailing, put some stickers, do some paint on it, make it look a little bit better. I actually found this in when I was punching out some pieces to another game, and this was left over on the cardboard sprue area, so I kind of like that. So I was actually going to use that as part of it. So I am going to run out of super glue right here, so one moment. Like I said, I keep super glue companies in business. Anytime you're building terrain, you're going to need quite a bit of super glue. So as I said, I kind of like this piece. It was just cut off of the leftover, and I was going to set that right in here. Kind of give it a little bit of detail and some different levels and things of that aspect. And then I had some extra decals again, left over from vehicles and such, that I'd like to put on. Hazard areas. It's always good to be safe when you're around
these areas. So we're going to put a couple of decals on. You don't need to watch me do all that, and then I'll add the paint, and we'll show you some finished products and some other pieces of the industrial terrain and how they fit into your game. Alright, so we got the decals on, just a few small ones around, kind of just show you a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to add some paint. Now we did put that little control panel over here, so I would like to add some detail to that, make it look a bit more realistic. So we're just going to add a little bit of metallic blue here around the screen. And get that on there. Now for some reason in my world a lot of the buttons aren't just buttons, they're always little glowy red and yellow type lights. They're always beaming and gleaming. So we got to add some of those. And we'll get some rust added. A few of the little details. We should be done. Things, dots on some of the other places. Let's see. Just make it look like it's a little bit glowing, got some life to it. Not just the drab colors. Alright. As you can see, basically you can get all sorts of this industrial terrain. If you have a bunch of junk laying around, you can get this done in not too much time. I'll show you some of the ones I've done. They take very little time, and all you really need are just materials that you find around the house and something to base them on. So the control panel a little bit right there, and a few more details just around the pieces. These little necrons a bit here. Just adding a little bit of detail there to that, and to this one. Alright, so just adding a little bit more detail there. And we'll get us some rust going. This one will be done. Ready to be on the table again with some of the other pieces, making a great industrial battlefield. Now another thing that I'll show you a little bit when I'm filming kind of what they look like that I found very simple. I'm sure a lot of you have already thought of this, but if not, for industrial areas, you always have a lot of piping going on. Just get some PVC pipe, paint it up a little bit, and use it. It works really well. Has some industrial pipes. Gives you, like I said on this stuff, you can have some house rules, have it give you a 5-up cover save or whatever you want to have on there, but it might also be carrying promethium. Have some different aspects to it. So we're just adding some rust effects, kind of coming, getting it just to look like there's a little bit of rust. Also taking away, as I said, a lot of the dullness of the regular everyday pieces here of the silver and everything. So just adding a little bit of color to liven it up. Now spouts are definitely going to want to have a little bit of rust here. And bleeding a little bit into the... And we are just about done with this one. Oh, probably around some around the pipes. Okay, so we got the extra detailing on there, and that is a finished piece. So we'll show you some of the other ones and how to have them together into a nice little industrial complex. Alright, well here's our piece actually from today that we were making, and here's the one from yesterday out on the battlefield. As I said, we have the PVC pipe, which makes kind of an industrial feel and look with some pipage. You can see a couple of pieces here. I was going to show you a few more just to give you a visual of the different ones, some different angles here of just bits and pieces and things that you can put together to make more of these industrial things. You can make them large, you can make them small, out of all sorts of bits and things. As you can see, they're just there to be able to allow you to have some cover, have some cool looking terrain, give you a few bits of story. Could be some type of generator there. Just like I said, make them large or small. You can see there's the film canisters and the dice, glue stick lids, bits of G.I. Joe machine guns, a milk cap, just different things that you can find all around. Adding some decals, some color, a little bit of paint here and there. Just basically any size that you want. Throw it out there. Build you. I held strawberries, stuff like that. So yeah, anything that you can find. So there's our piece for the day, part 2 of our industrial, and there's our industrial battlefield right here. And I hope you enjoyed Krazy Terrain part 2, making some industrial pieces for your 40K board or whatever game you may be playing. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.